an update on putting the transmission into the 86 XJ, Cherokee XJ. So, what do we have here? When we had the transmission up on a transmission jack, the guy that loaned it to us had to take it back because he borrowed it from somebody else. So that was a couple weeks ago. So we blocked up the transmission on some wood blocks and then stuck my floor jack under it. Yeah, floor jacks are not transmission jacks. So here's one of the things that happened. One of the U-joints fell off the front, one of the U-joint caps fell off the front drive shaft, and I put it on top the transmission jack. When I gave it back to the guy, I forgot about it. And he threw it in his van, took it over to his buddy's house, and he threw it in his whatever. And just yesterday, just yesterday, they found this laying in his driveway. The downside is it was missing a whole bunch of the needle bearings. You see inside the shiny plastic, there's a bunch of needle bearings in there, but it's missing 7 of them. And yeah, we're never going to find those. So I got at least the cap back. All these, I cleaned them up, put them in this bag, and I'm missing 7. So my buddy gave me an old Ford U-joint, but the needle bearings are the exact same diameter, 0.071 inches, but they're 1/8 of an inch too short. Now, 7 goes into, there's 32 of them I counted, supposedly. Actually, I counted the ones in this Ford one. So if that's anywhere close, a 7 goes in there like 4.5 times. So every 3rd, 4th, or 5th one of the correct length, I could put one of these in and at least it would work for now. Well, I have way too much to do, so I'm not in a rush to put this U-joint on the Jeep. All I need to find one is with longer needle bearings and rebuild it. Yes, I know they're cheap, but this thing is done on a seriously tight budget. So anyway, at least we found this stupid thing. It's not damaged, it was full of dirt. So it's all cleaned out. I'm just waiting to find 7 more of these, and then we'll be fine. So that, at least, this mystery got solved. It took 3 people to do it. This is an old beat up Ford one, but it might work okay. They're a little short, like I said, but that's how it goes. So not a rush. It can go in dead last. These pieces here, okay, so this is what slides inside the boot for the slave cylinder on the clutch. This is what actually pushes on the release arm, and you can see it's it's pretty toasted, man. I bought a new one. Took it 2 weeks to get here because we had to do it twice, thanks to the postal service, and I can't find it. I can't find it to save my butt. So I have had other people and myself hunting everywhere for it. It's still in a little plastic bag that it came in. I think it says Crown across it. I can't find it. I don't know where the hell it is. So it was $2 plus $4 shipping. So anyway, I need to find that. This will probably work, but I think the new one's probably almost an 1/8 inch longer, which will change the pedal position a lot inside the cab. Now, the other parts that helped when we were putting the transmission in the other day, these are 10mm threads. They were bolts. I cut the heads off and tapered them, and then cut a slot with an angle grinder, just a quick little zip so you can unscrew it with a screwdriver. Fortunately, before that, I chased all the threads with the thread chaser. You take a bolt, you cut 2 slots in it, and you run it in, run it out a couple times, and it grabs all the dirt. And all the bolts that we put in, we started by hand, and they spun all the way in until they bottomed. That was pretty cool. So that helps a lot. Thread chasers, they're here somewhere in this damn mess. But these pins, I put these in the lowest 2 holes on each side of the bell housing. And once you line these up, the thing, I couldn't have even taken us 15 minutes to put the transmission and have it fully mate. Now, that was after an hour of the transmission eventually falling off the floor jack. It was just a huge pain in the butt. So once we put it back on the floor jack, from that moment until it docked with the engine was like 15 minutes, maybe 20 on the outside. So let me tell you, these pins really make it easy. It went together so clean it was ridiculous. So I highly recommend making some. They're 10mm threads on the, I think from 84 all the way to God 90 whatever. They're all the same bolts. So those are very handy tools. I'm going to take my Sharpie and write Jeep on them, put them in the toolbox, and they are officially a Jeep tool now. What else needs to be done? Some of you will recognize this CPS and the bolts. It's sitting here because when we slid the transmission onto the engine, I didn't want the flywheel teeth to take and rip the front of this off or grab it or scrape it or whatever, so I left it sitting here. Now what we've done, I hope I can show this to you. The back of the transmission sitting on a little bottle jack. The floor jack isn't doing jack, and the transmission's being held by the engine. So it's down about as low as it can be, the transmission is, and it makes me able to reach where the CPS goes real easy. I can reach all the bell housing bolts when it's time to whip out the torque wrench. I think it's 28 foot-pounds. Snug them all. Right now they're tight just with a short ratchet, and that works good. So here's one of the other tools. Every extension I own, those are 3/8, and it worked really good. So that's about all that's left. I've decided to start a box with all the Jeep crap in it, all the old Jeep crap. That CPS that's in there actually works. It just has got melted wires. There's the old clutch. It works too. It just was the throwout bearing that went bad, went south. This clutch set came from Rock Auto. Beck Arnley's a good brand. I've known it for a long time. The brand of the disc was Vallejo from South Korea. Real nice. All the parts are great. I really like this, and the price was nothing. I think I got the whole thing shipped for 48 bucks. So anyway, this old girl's about ready. The vacuum lines are broken from the guys that were helping me. There's a wiring harness laying down there. Got to torque it. There's a torque wrench laying right there. So blah blah blah. We got lots to do, but I had neighbors come and put the transmission in. I helped a little. Anyway, that's it for now. Just an update on this rig. We put the transmission in a couple days ago, and once I get all the miscellaneous bolted to it, we will be done. See you. Bye.